keep rolling. Ready? Are we going to clap in, or you don't have? You
I
don't
don't have a hand to clap in with.
We could just count down.
I'll slap my knee if
Oh
you want
my
to clap.
God. We should all
That's a
slap
knee
our
slapper.
Oh my God. You've been dropping bombs today, man.
Right.
Wired, dropping bombs in my bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
Shit,
I
man.
sure did.
You sure did. You're proud of that shit?
Yeah.
Literally.
I felt bad for Dave because he went right in after me. I'm just like, oh God.
I smelled nothing.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. You ready? Three, two, one, and we are rolling.
Yeah.
Welcome to another episode of Mofos with a Long podcast.
Yay!
You already fucking know.
As you can see, we have our boy Dave here.
Hey!
He's returning.
Man.
I guess you were in the season finale, right? Of
Oh,
last
was that what
season.
that was?
That's what we're
Okay.
considering right now.
Yeah.
It's like the season.
It's like unofficial. We haven't like come out and say like this is season 2, but it kind of feels like it.
Yeah, we came back. We came back with more equipment, more energy.
That was Christmas Eve, I believe.
About around Christmas time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we were watching that. Let's not talk about it anymore. But the shitty Matrix movie. I know, Armando. I know you liked it.
I've seen way worse.
I thought you liked it.
I didn't like that shit.
you liked it more than we did.
More than you guys did, but that's not saying a whole lot.
I kind of liked it. You
Yeah.
know, there were parts of it that I enjoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I guess instead of rehashing that shit, the movie we're doing today is The Last Dragon.
That's
and you
right.
recommended this, Dave.
Oh yeah.
Any reason?
Well, I remember quoting this when I was 4.
Oh, man.
And I did the show enough like all the time because it made my parents laugh.
Oh, really?
So the more they laughed, the more I would learn from the movie. And then I started saying some of the curse words, and they were like, "Okay, we can't watch that."
Oh, yeah.
Here's some Bruce Lee. I'm like, "Ooh, who's Bruce Lee?" And then that set off a whole other thing. But yeah, I'd say probably Last Dragon was like my first foray into martial arts movies.
Oh, that's interesting.
You know, because it was like, this is a cool movie. All right. Now, what are these movies that they're watching in the background? Those look cool. And it's like, that's Enter the Dragon. I'm like, what?
Oh, really?
Let me see that.
Okay. Any history with this movie at all, Armando? Was this the first time seeing it?
This is my first time.
Oh, man.
And I will say, I only did see it,
Okay.
so y'all are gonna have to
Oh, yeah, carry
take
it.
because
It's a lot easier for a 4-year-old, you know, to adjust to it than it is for like, you know, a grown adult.
yeah.
Because it's a really silly movie.
It is. So you never heard about this movie beforehand at all, or?
no,
Oh,
but
shit.
apparently a lot of people have.
Oh, yeah.
Because they were like, oh yeah, what are you filming this week? And I was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do Last Dragon. Oh, that one's hilarious. I was like, well, I haven't seen it, so don't
Yeah.
don't tell me anything.
Well, they're not really spoiling anything. It's pretty cut and dry.
Yeah, yeah. I heard about this movie around the same when I first came to America. Just people randomly say, "Who's the master?" You know, showing up. And
Oh, yeah.
I finally saw where it was from because I was into martial arts, and sometimes people would be like, "Oh, you know, Bruce Leroy, shit like that." And I saw this for the first time actually, maybe like 3 years ago, and I was going through or 4. I think it was like 4 years ago now, and I was going through like a deep depression at the time. And I saw this movie, and it actually kind of helped out, you know.
It does make you feel better
yeah,
about
it makes
yourself.
You feel better. Yeah, it was just.
Did you find your glow?
Like
Huh? Oh, the glow. Yeah,
like watching a musical train wreck,
Oh yeah, man.
but a magical one.
It's a fun movie. I guess I'm really kind of showing my hand, but it's like it's a fun movie. But yeah, I'm glad that you recommended this because this is a movie seeing it again. I was just like smiling my ass off watching it, and I ended up watching it with Victoria, and she laughed way harder than I thought she would. She would, you know, because she's like really into 80s shit. So it was a fun movie.
And it was like right smack dab in the middle. It came out in 1985. You can't get more 80s than that.
Hence why I'm wearing this shit. This is
Yeah.
like, I was trying to go all 80s, you know.
And like I've noticed the movies that I recommend seem to have a theme where it's like they're multiple different genres all just thrown at you and adjust accordingly. It's not really a musical. It's not really a martial arts movie. It's not really an adventure.
Yeah, it's just an 80s movie, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I like how it's like you said, unapologetically 80s. Like
Oh, yeah.
When you want to see what the 80s look like, put this shit on, man. Because you're about to say something?
Oh no, yeah, I was just gonna agree with you because there's one part the host gets her hair messed up, but the hair was so big back then I couldn't tell that they were supposed to be like portraying her hair being messed up.
Yeah.
So
You're talking about Laura,
Yeah,
the main
Laura.
girl. Yeah, played
by
by
Vanity?
Vanity, that's right.
According to Victoria, I guess she was like the it girl of the 80s. Vanity?
For a little bit, yeah. She
Okay.
was like Prince's protege, and then she was given her own group called Vanity 6. But unfortunately, she really hit the drugs a bit hard, and she died back in 2016.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's around the same time Prince died, too, right? Wasn't it 2016? Prince also died? Or was
You
it
know,
2015?
years just kind of
Yeah,
yeah.
especially
blur
with COVID.
together.
Yeah, especially with COVID. You
This-
want to say something?
Oh, no, I was gonna make a dumb joke.
No, I mean, fuck it.
I was
no.
gonna ask if she was vain.
Oh my god.
Well, I'm sure she saw Prince's vein.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus Christ.
Why
guys.
did you
Let's-
bring me back?
But I guess we could kind of dive into the premise of this film.
All right.
You
Well,
want to take it off?
I would love to. Yes, this is produced by Berry Gordy, who created Motown.
Okay.
And this came out like in Motown's final years. But to Berry Gordy's credit, he started the company for $600 and sold it for $300 million.
Whoa, that's a come up.
Not a bad gig. But yeah, this was the final year, and so he basically threw all of his artists that were still on Motown into this kind of MTV-esque smorgasbord where the what's his name? Where the one lady is kind of like Cyndi Lauper. You know, you got Vanity, and then you got DeBarge, who gets their entire music video played just right in the middle of this of this movie. And I'm not gonna lie, every time I hear that song, "Rhythm of the Night" by DeBarge, I'm just like,
Rhythm of the night. Yeah. The music video I thought was funny because you know when the guys and the girls were grinding each other, there was like this one black guy in front that was so intense, looking at the camera. He's like, "I know I'm grinding with your bitch right now," you know, like challenging somebody, like, "What you about to do about this shit?" But yeah, as you were saying, Brady Gordy.
yeah. And so they hired. I've heard his name be pronounced as Ty Mock.
Yeah, Ty Mock. Yeah.
Okay. He was 19. He was hired because he was a black belt in jiu-jitsu, but he had no acting ability. And then they hired Julius Carey to play Shogun or Shonuff, who had no martial arts ability, but he could act. So basically, they brought in martial arts people to teach Julius and acting people to teach Ty Mock, who honestly, people give him a lot of shit for having a very stilted performance. You know, I need to learn moves.
Yeah.
You know, but that works so perfectly because he's the innocent, he's the child that is basically trying to pop his cherry.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
whole movie is just sexual innuendo.
Show me your moves.
Oh yeah, at the very end where he's like, "Why don't you teach me some moves?"
Oh yeah.
Dude,
I
that hurts my throat.
Oh, my
when that
God.
part happens.
I was gonna say, to his credit, going into this, I wouldn't have guessed that he didn't have acting ability. I would have guessed that that's how he chose to play the character.
Same, actually.
I can see that too. Yeah.
I thought he was doing, you know how like in old Chinese movies, not martial arts movies dub, they kind of talk in sections. Like, hey, what are you doing over there? He's like, I thought he was mimicking that.
Right.
Because that's what he looks up to, you know? With like Bruce Lee and stuff. And that's how the dub sounds like. It sounds like people talking in sections, you know? It's weird.
Right. Well, see, they open the movie where his master is shooting arrows at him, and literally they shot arrows at him until he finally was able to cut one.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so they just went until he finally was able to get it.
Okay. Is that why they did slow-mo?
Yeah. But the movie, the premise, he's sent out on a quest to find some dumb goy.
Yeah.
which
Some dumb.
yeah,
Okay.
like even as a kid, I was like, "Wait, some dumb guy."
Yeah, that's him.
All right. So the whole movie is basically his quest to find the master.
Yeah.
And so his basically like he's just journeys through New York in the mid 80s. And apparently nobody in New York had guns. They all just karate fucked with each other. And so he ends up in this movie theater to watch Enter the Dragon, where people are dancing in the
Pop
aisleways, and everybody's talking and yelling at the screen. And one dude just gets so sick of hearing the music, but he's cool with the yelling, and he just runs up and jumps on their boombox,
Like Bruce Lee.
right? And then that's when we're introduced to Sho'nuff.
Who's the master?
That is the one of the greatest intros to any character fucking ever. Just the 2x2 setup, face each other, and then, am I the meanest? Show enough.
I'm on the baddest.
I was gonna ask because I wasn't old enough to like live in that time period, and maybe you might have been too young to like know the ins and outs of like what was going on at that time. Were flash mobs like a big thing? Because I feel like that's what they were like portraying was like a mini flash mob with those two people dancing.
Well, a lot of movies at that time would always have the ancillary boombox with 2 to 3 people that wore sweats on top of sweats, but they were torn, and then the headband, and they were always either trying to do the robot or they were trying to do like what a feeling. So it's like you basically kind of had to have that in a movie somewhere between 83 and like 87.
That looks like a fun era, dude.
Yeah, right.
Watching this shit,
Yeah.
they look like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like henchmen. The Sho'nuff crew.
Oh, yeah,
the way they showed up, man.
Or like some boss out of like Street Fighter or
Yeah.
something.
You want to say something?
He did resemble Shredder.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of like with his outfit going on.
With the shoulder pads and shit.
Yeah.
I want to know who Sho'nuff's barber is. It's like goes in there and give me the poodle.
Oh my god. But yeah, you want to say anything more?
Oh no, yeah, like you could tell, like those were clearly football pads that they like kind of like altered to kind of look more like
Martial artists, I guess.
yeah.
Shoulder pads were the thing in the 80s.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I was going to say how you said people criticize. Is it Tamak again? Tamak, the guy who plays
Taimak, yeah.
Taimak, the guy who plays Bruce Leroy. I think because everybody around him was so charismatic,
Yes.
especially Sho'nuff, that his performance comes off underwhelming. But it's not fair because, like you said, he's most likely playing it as like a timid,
Oh yeah.
virgin young boy.
Yeah.
But everybody else is just so over the top, especially Sho'nuff.
Yes.
Like the moment he shows up, he kills the movie, dude, until the ending. Like he kills every scene he's in.
There wasn't a single subtle performance
Oh,
in
yeah.
this entire movie. Like even the kids.
Richie? Yeah.
Reggie, he's like what, 13, 14?
Yeah.
Teaching his 19-year-old brother how to fuck.
Yeah. That was that's a strange scene. Like the conversation.
Yeah.
there.
You wouldn't know what
Yeah,
to
dude.
do with it if you had it.
Yeah. Why does he talk like he's like a pimp from the 70s, dude? The whole movie.
Dude, every one of them is like they're tight against Cass. You got the 3 guys that suck it to me.
Oh,
I
yeah,
suck it to you. They're trying to be hood, and meanwhile, Bruce Leroy is trying to be meek and
Yeah.
you know.
Asian kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think they intentionally flipped everybody, because it's like you can't stereotype this person because we made them into this person.
Yeah, that's true. If this movie came out today, I could see the people complaining.
Oh yeah.
Like, what's it called? Culture appropriation.
That, and then like when he shows up at the some dumb goy
Oh yeah.
place and he's asking for the master, he's like, ain't no masters here, ain't no slaves neither. I was like, holy shit. Like, god damn.
And also, let's be honest, people bitch about everything these days.
Yeah.
That's true.
But
So they're in the theater, and Bruce Lee is eating popcorn with his chopsticks, which I thought that was great. And then Sho'nuff, he shows up, and because Bruce Lee won't fight, and he's like, "What's up?"
Yeah.
Catches bullets with his teeth.
Yeah.
And then finally, somebody's like, "Why don't you sit down and shut up?" And he literally fights like half the theater.
Yeah.
But what made me laugh the hardest was the 2 fat white guys that stood up like why'd you sit down and shut up? The one that didn't talk, he had a shirt
Yeah.
cut right here, and it was like pink, and it looked like something that Cyndi Lauper would have worn.
Yeah,
but this dude is
yeah.
like 350 pounds, and
The crop top.
yeah, and then like the people go at him one at a time. He rips the one dude's hair out and blows it. And, like,
Yeah.
just slams his fucking head. Like, there's hardly any actual martial arts. This
Oh,
dude's just, he's 6'5". He's just beating the shit out of people.
He bit one dude's foot.
Oh, yeah.
He bit some dude's foot. Like, there's no martial arts in that, man.
See, funny fact, Kurt Angle was inspired by that.
Oh, was he?
No.
Oh, my, you fucking got me, dude. You got me. I did think about the ankle lock with that move. But what I was about to say with that, so that scene confused me, right? Because when showing
That
up,
scene confused you.
oh yeah, I mean, plenty of things confused me, but like plot wise, when he shows up and the kid was like, "I know who could defeat you, Bruce Leroy," he seemed confused on who Bruce Leroy was.
Right, yeah.
Then he sees him and he knows him. It's like, do you know Bruce Leroy or don't you? Because he seemed confused, but at the same time, they're talking about, oh, Bruce Leroy is the guy that stands between him and total supremacy or some shit like that. But you're just acting like you don't know who Bruce Leroy was a couple seconds ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just kind of confusing to me, but
Maybe he was playing more into the fact that
I'm the
he
best.
could beat me.
Yeah,
Are you
maybe.
sure?
Mhm.
Yeah,
You're right.
I don't know.
No, you're right. Maybe that's it. I mean, he is the master, dude.
Right.
Showing up.
Yeah, showing up.
I love how everybody's punch sounds like rubbing their hands over leather.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody really loved to get like this close to his face with the shit.
Oh, yeah. That's what we did at the theater, right? When he's like taunting him.
Yeah.
One thing I would say I find surprising about Shonuff is like, even though the way he tried to go about it was wrong, in a martial arts like mentality, it is kind of honorable what he's doing. Like, to be the best, you have to beat the best, right?
Right.
And throughout the whole movie, he just wants to fight him to prove that he's the best.
Yeah.
And that's something like a lot of that's how you should kind of view yourself as a martial artist.
He
you
didn't
know?
have to fuck up the pizzeria.
Oh,
though.
no, he didn't have to do all that.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, again, I don't agree with the methods he went about doing it, but I do admire that the fact he does still want to beat this guy to say, hey, I'm the best. Show enough.
And I'm glad you brought that up because there are a lot of background players that don't really do much but went on to bigger careers. For example, in the pizzeria, there is a very young Cole from Martin in the pizzeria. Rudy Huxtable is in there. Chaz Palminteri, who later on did A Bronx Tale, which, by the way, you need to see A Bronx Tale.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking incredible. And Mike Starr, he was the guy that fed the lamb leg to the piranha.
Yeah, well, they never really show
to
what
the
fuck it
green
was.
water, and
Yeah.
it emerged as bone. Yeah, that he was the hitman from Dumb and Dumber that ate all the peppers
my God.
and died.
Oh my
Son
god,
of a bitch!
That was him. That was him. Oh my god. I didn't even recognize him, dude. But I was like, this guy sounds familiar. I like his acting too. He knows how to play like a henchman.
Oh
for
yeah,
some reason.
he's great. Yeah, Mike
Yeah.
Starr, he's really good. And then of course William H Macy
Oh yeah, William H Macy.
wearing that jacket. Good lord.
Dude, that guy was so blonde. He was damn near glowing, dude. I didn't know his
yeah.
eyebrows were fucking blonde too.
He was
man.
like Ken's gay uncle or something.
You're about to say something?
Oh no, like I just that was like the first time me seeing him that young. Because I guess like the stuff that I've been exposed to with him, he's like already kind of older. Especially everybody knows him as Frank on
Shameless?
Shameless, yeah. So used to him looking old, and then like go back watch this movie and like man, like he's super young in that movie.
Yeah.
Come on, Laura.
It's funny too because that's like the only scene he appears in, right?
Right.
In the
Yeah.
whole movie. We haven't talked about the villain Eddie Arcadian.
Oh god.
You know, the video game guy. His
Yeah.
last name Arcadian. We never see him fuck with any video games at all. The whole movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but
And he keeps trying to force his untalented girlfriend onto, her show.
Yeah.
Makes those god awful videos.
hey man, I'm not gonna lie. I liked one of them. The one with the dirty books. How's it go again? With the
Oh
flavor-
god, yeah.
Yeah, I found them. wonder something like that. I love that song though.
I thought I was the only one because like when it came out, I was kind of bopping. I
That shit
was like,
slaps, dude. I do like how when Shonuff was like fucking up the pizzeria and the song came up on the TV, they like interrupted him, and he's like, "Who turned this shit off?" It's like, "Shut up, bitch!"
Yeah,
he kicks the TV or whatever was playing it. I thought that shit was hilarious. But Victoria was like talking shit about the songs, like, "No, this song suck." I was like, "Nah, I like them, man."
What happened? Show enough happened. That's what.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
all because of you. Which led to the montage, or their version of a montage, which was basically Bruce Leroy just hitting the punching bag and kind of crying.
Oh yeah, because a coward. He was called a coward or something.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to lie, dude. Bruce Leroy roared me throughout the whole movie. I thought that guy was deranged throughout the whole movie because, as you know, vanity first. He looks like. I mean, you know me. I love martial arts. I love Bruce Lee. But I think Bruce Lee was in love with Bruce Lee because the way he goes about it was kind of strange, man. To the point like when the Vanity finally takes him to the studio, and he's just like watching the screen because she has like Bruce Lee in the music video, and he's like getting into it, and she kisses him, and he backs off to go watch Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
and he doesn't kiss her until he sees Bruce Lee kissing a girl.
You see,
then I'm like, dude, something's.
See, when you're 5, then you're just like, oh, he's just innocent.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
like me.
Yeah,
but yeah, when you're an adult, you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with you,
yeah,
bro?
dude.
Vanity, even though that song that she does is fucking terrible. I'm with you. I'm with you.
Oh yeah.
That was nominated for worst song that year at the Razzies.
Oh really?
It was terrible. But I remember it, so it couldn't have been that terrible.
I liked it.
I will say to his credit, they have a whole meme about like they use the scene from Funny Enough American Psycho, where he's like looking at the camera or whatever, and they use that shot to say like when you're Netflix and chilling, but the movie is actually interesting.
Oh yeah. So you just want to keep looking, you're not paying attention. That's just an excuse still, but I don't know. For a guy who wants, for the girl to show him her moves, he seems to care too much about Bruce Lee at that moment. You know what I mean?
But no, you might have hit on something about how deranged he was, because Laura goes about 5 blocks up after being with him, and then they try to kidnap her, and then he just appears. It's like, were you stalking her?
Oh yeah.
How the fuck did you just appear after 5 blocks of her just walking? And they tried to catch her, and then they kidnap her again.
Yeah, they kidnap her again. That's the part. And he happened to be there too when they kidnap her. Again.
And she's not very bright.
Nah, I mean most people in this movie they're not very bright actually. I was about to say another thing with I guess Bruce Lee being deranged was watching it again because after he finds out that some dumb guy or whatever the master isn't real. When he goes to his master, he looks so hurt. I thought he was about to kill that man, dude. There was the way he just disappointed he was.
Right.
Yeah, as he's finding out his master was maybe kind of giving the. Having him just run around and kind of do GTA missions and shit like that.
Found out Santa wasn't real.
Yeah, exactly. But the way he looked, I was like, I wouldn't be surprised if he fucks this dude up.
Right.
I was never worried about that, but I thought it was so funny because Laura says something about the medallion looking like a belt buckle.
Yeah.
And he was like, a smarter guy would have used this to hold his pants up. And I was like... I thought that was clever.
Nail on the head right there.
Yeah. But I mean, technically, because he was looking for the master, right? Some dumb guy or something like that. At the end, he ends up being a master, so he is that some dumb guy. So of course he wouldn't know about that belt buckle shit.
Yeah. So they kidnap Laura and they take them back to Eddie Arcadian's
lair.
It looks like Pee-wee's Playhouse in there, honestly.
It does.
And they tie her up, they got a gun on her, and they force her to watch old girl's video. And they're like, so, you gonna put her on? And she's like, no.
Yeah.
It's like, you've got a gun to your head and you are tied up. Don't play it later. For now, say yes and get the fuck out of there.
I was also thinking what's wrong with just playing the shit for 3 minutes?
Right.
Right.
You know.
I mean, she's basically hosting like Club MTV. It's like,
Yeah.
is anybody paying attention to any of that shit? It's just an excuse for hot people to grind on each other.
Yeah.
It's a mix of that and like Soul Train kind
Oh,
of.
Yeah.
yeah, actually, yeah, I guess you're right. I didn't even think about that.
But we don't focus on that too long because out of nowhere, a ninja shows up and starts throwing stars.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie, I never thought throwing stars were cool until I saw that scene.
Oh, for real?
It's like, ooh, I want to do that to my brother, but
Oh my god.
but you know,
Like South Park.
laws and shit. But
Did you
then
like
he,
throwing stars? Sorry, my bad.
No, but it was just funny when he stuck Eddie Arcadian's head into the green murky water, and then the shit starts riling, you know, the piranhas and shit. And he's like, "I'm gonna kill that son of a bitch."
Yeah.
And like they close in on him, and he just looks like Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Oh,
you
he
know?
does actually. Dude, that guy's hair was fucking me up, man.
Oh,
And I was
yeah.
like, dude, at that point, just let it go. Just finish the job, man.
His lines are super fucking cheesy.
Oh yeah.
To your question, I always thought throwing stars looked cool.
Okay, yeah.
But it's one of those things like with guns. I would like to think because I've shot like shotguns and rifles and stuff like that. I've never shot a handgun before. But I feel like I would have too much confidence in my like ability to shoot straight. And I think the same thing goes for throwing stars. Like I think I would be like, yeah, I can throw this straight and then like fuck it up and
Oh,
like
yeah.
possibly hurt somebody. So like they look cool, but I probably shouldn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'd like bounce off the wall and come back
Yeah.
and fall on your foot or something.
Oh my god. Dude, did they have throwing stars in TMNT? I don't think they did.
No, I
right?
don't think.
How are you gonna throw them? They've got like 3 fingers.
That's
that are,
true.
like,
I mean-
giant and swollen from diabetes and high cholesterol because all they eat is pizza.
Me and my brother, we used to do Ninja Turtle handshake, and we'd shake each other's hands.
Is that why you're laughing?
Yeah, and we'd like that.
Scissoring like that.
Is that why you're laughing at everything, everywhere, all the time? When remember?
No, because like I mean, when they did that, that was like the schoolyard, like, oh, this is what a vagina looks
Oh,
like.
okay.
And so like it was
Okay.
just so funny that they were doing that so that she could see into the next dimension.
Oh, okay. I see. Dude, if you like that, this is another movie. Definitely go see Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yeah.
Everybody again, go see that movie.
I know we just did a review on
Yeah,
it, but
but
like
it's-
I saw
Yeah.
the ad. It looks good. Looks
But let's-
solid.
Yeah, it is. So let's dive back into this one because we already did a review on that one. But yeah, you're talking about Bruce Leroy attacking the studio.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
to save Vanity or Laura.
Right, right. And we might have passed it already, but then there was the scene where Show Enough shows up to Bruce Leroy's class
Oh yeah.
and tries to attack there. And he's like, how about one of the ladies come and mess you up? And
Something about lamp whip.
they keep
Something like that.
the limp whip, yes.
Yeah.
And they kept trying to make him bow, and he wouldn't do it. And then Johnny, who he's probably the most obnoxious person that I enjoy.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, he's just like, you always teach us the art of fighting without fighting. Well, I do one better. I learned the art of fighting without knowing how to fight.
Yeah.
And, like, literally everything that he did is, wah!
That guy was hilarious.
And, like, he, like, pissed them off and then ran. And then he threw one of the students at the henchman.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, yeah, that's teamwork right there, you son of a bitch.
I didn't understand why he didn't just square off
Same.
like right
honestly.
then.
Yeah.
I guess it wasn't his moment to find the glow yet. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Other than like, yeah, it didn't follow the plot. Like,
I didn't understand. That's why Bruce Lee. Well, I thought he was a square throughout this whole movie, dude. Like at that scene, he could have definitely have fought the guy because I know he looks up to Bruce Lee and stuff. But if you watch some Bruce Lee movies, Bruce Lee killed people, in his movies. So if you look up to him just to kiss a girl, you've seen this guy kill people. So why don't you just fuck this dude up right here? You know what I mean?
Well, it's because he's altruistic. You know,
Uh.
it's not just he's innocent, but also he will defend himself, but he will not initiate the action, which is the Zen part of the movie.
Yeah, I guess it's honorable, but it was to the point where it's like, this could have resolved itself a long time ago. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, a gun could have resolved the whole
Oh
thing.
yeah, there's at the
yeah.
ending.
There's
when-
only like 8 of them.
Yeah.
I will.
About to say something?
No, I was gonna say like I think it would have flowed better for the story if like gets his ass kicked, gets kind of disgraced, and then comes back. You know what I mean? But not the direction they decided to go with it. So, you know.
Well, they instead attacked his family.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
that's true.
Which I thought, you know,
It
since
makes-
they couldn't attack him because clearly he was more, you know, athletic than them, hit the people that aren't.
I also like that again too because it shows sure enough, again, just wants to fight this guy, to, you know, to prove that he's the best.
Right.
So he's doing anything to draw him out. You know, attacking his family or just doing stuff or coming to his gym to challenge him because he just wants to fight him and prove that he's because he could have whooped his ass and just beat him up so bad there and maybe crippled him. You know, but he just kind of.
He wants a fair, like a
One-on-one.
1v1. Yeah. And he's so like in that mission to the point that when Eddie offers him that big ass briefcase of money and he's like, keep your money. I just want to fight him.
Yeah.
I was like, bro, take the money and fight him. What
Yeah.
do you like?
What do you say? Like I will designate his ass or something like that. That's
Oh,
the
yeah.
line he used.
Right. The main villain has morals. What the fuck is this?
Yeah, yeah. I think all that doesn't help. I see why Show Enough was more popular, you know, because people talk about Show Enough more when they talk about this movie or The Glow or just how super 80s this shit is.
Oh, yeah.
More than Bruce Leroy himself. Usually, whenever I hear about Bruce Leroy in my community, in the black community, it's usually to mock somebody that's into martial arts or just kind of a square, you know. But Show Enough, when people bring on Show Enough, it's usually like more positive.
Bruce Leroy is an odd protagonist, but like,
Yeah.
goddamn, Show Enough stole the show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Kiss my Converse.
That shit, like, I don't know. I love the way he played that character, and he might have not like been the strongest martial artist in the group, but like, as far as like acting, and I think he just understood exactly what the role was supposed to be and just hit it.
Yeah. He stole the show, dude.
Oh yeah.
Every time he came on screen, dude, I was so excited because I was like, let's see some goofy shit happen, you know? And he, like you said, he was just so over the top. But if it fits with this fucking Saturday, you know, morning cartoon-ish type of movie, you know?
What did y'all think of the audition process for the villains at the end? In particular, the guy that only barked.
Oh, yeah. I thought that reminded me of like just TMNT for some reason. It just reminded me of like an episode of a cartoon.
It reminded me of like jobbers from wrestling, like the
Oh,
people
yeah.
that had no names that were just brought in so that their stars could look good. But
What
like
about-
a whole line of them.
Yeah. What about you, Armando? How do you feel about those?
Oh
guys?
no, yeah, like it reminded me a lot of the. I know you haven't seen them still, unless you have by now. The live action TMNT.
No, not yet.
because they have like a whole like sub storyline where the foot is like hurting for members and they're trying to rebuild.
Oh,
Because
that's
in the
funny.
first one they kind of like get disbanded and lose a lot of their members. So the second one they're like hosting tryouts and they're trying out like everybody, and it just kind of like seemed like a more like played up ridiculous version of that.
Yeah.
Um,
That's actually really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
the guy was like he killed a lady that like the incinerator
Yeah.
or something like that. He's like, I took the trash out or whatever, something like that.
For in this movie or
Yeah, no, in this movie, yeah.
It's something. Yeah,
He's
something
like,
about
you're
some
bragging
lady.
about killing a lady.
Yeah, something about some lady. Yeah, that guy looked deranged. I mean, everybody in that line looked deranged, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
How do you guys feel about like I guess the kids at the end, like the fight scene at the end at the club?
Well, that was little Ernie Reyes Jr. Man, some weird sound. Should it be like this far away? Is this fine?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Little Ernie
music.
Reyes Jr., who ended up being in Secret of the EUs. He was the pizza guy, and he was also Surf Ninjas.
Secret of the Ooze, is that
That's the
TMNT?
second Ninja Turtles.
Oh, okay.
From the 90s,
I have to see those.
where Kevin Nash played Super Shredder.
Oh, for real?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, nah, I definitely have to go watch it.
Oh, it's terrible.
Well,
Armando likes them.
I
Yeah.
loved it too. As far as like the look of the actual like squishy suits, I think the turtles look the best in the second one. The first one, it was like their first iteration, so I give it a pass. And then they tried to make the suits look better in the third one, try to make some improvements, and they just fucked it all up.
Yeah.
So the second one's like the happy medium.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the second one with I know now we're talking about another movie, but it's the second one with the Vanilla Ice song.
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's all I know about that movie.
Ninja rap.
Oh, yeah.
Go,
Ninja.
Go, Ninja, go.
But you were saying something about we took you out there, Dave.
Dude, yeah. The 80s never stopped for some people.
Dude, watching this whole movie, I was just like, damn, I kind of wish we lived through the 80s, man. It just seemed like a fun era.
Yeah. Every corner you turn, people were dancing or going, wow.
Just over the top, corny.
Pre-Twitter.
Yeah, exactly.
Pre-cancel culture.
So
Now,
you could just kind of do shit.
what did y'all think of the final fight between Sho'nuff and Bruce Leroy? Where they lured him into... Well, actually, first off, they lure him into the dance studio and have all the minions just attack. And then his class shows up and,
Start kicking ass.
you are the dragon.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, how did you feel about the final showdown?
The final showdown, because of course they're gonna do the they had him in the first half. Not gonna lie, where because they have the thing where Sho'nuff comes in and he kind of does the swingy thing, kind of kicks him, and then he comes back and does the same thing later. So I'm like, okay, it's like a tit for tat thing, and then he just gets wrecked for a minute straight. He just gets his shit rocked. Yeah.
After Sho'nuff finds his glow.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Because and that part I didn't see coming, and I was like, because I will say, and this kind of showing my cards early.
No,
a lot of the movie, although it was fun, I wasn't super engaged. But when I found out that Sho'nuff had his own glow, I was like, oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, it's about to get real. And then I don't knock the 80s for because it was the time period. The special effects aren't going to be that great. It's from the 80s, but them showing the glow coming off of each punch, and I was like, god damn, he's gonna fuck him up.
It was like multiply in a video game,
Yeah, he got his game breaker on.
Yeah, his game breaker. I liked it. I thought it was because the movie built up to it too, so it's finally good to see them finally fight. And like you, when I saw that he had his glow, sure enough, I was surprised, and I was even more surprised with the effects because it had this comic booky cartoon effect to it with each punch. I was like, that's actually kind of impressive for a movie like this. I didn't expect that. And but like you said, it's the 80s, so they didn't have a flowing fight scene. It was more like, okay, you whip my ass, then I'll come back and whip your ass.
There was a lot more emotion in the fight. It's like when Obi-Wan fought Darth Vader in the first Star Wars. The fight itself sucked, but the emotion behind those two characters are what sells that fight.
And the soundtrack too was helping.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Something that you got the glow.
Yeah. Playtime's over, boy.
I just kept thinking of let your soul glow.
Yeah. With the hair and all that shit too. This whole movie, people got some sweaty ass Jerry curls in this shit, dude.
Right.
Boy, you were to say something, Dave?
I think
with the emotions and the fight scene?
I was gonna say, when I say who's the master, you say Sho'nuff.
Oh, but yeah, I guess we already talked so much about Sho'nuff.
I was gonna say with Bruce Leroy, the look of disappointment when there was no glow in his hands is very similar to when he found out some dumb guy is a computer.
Oh yeah. He's some type of computer. Sorry,
I don't know. It took you being drowned in a vat
to get your glow.
To come to the realization of the glow. After getting your face knocked in a couple times,
your girlfriend kidnapped.
Yeah, it's that wasn't the moment that you found your glow. It was when you're literally suffocating in a vat. That's when you find your glow.
I guess he had to get the confidence in himself to realize he is the master, you know?
Dude, when he comes up and he's like, I am, you'll notice he starts laughing and they cut right before he actually starts laughing because even he knew that was a ridiculous line.
Yeah. I like one thing I noticed with Victoria watching it. There was still it wasn't consistent with the injuries on his face, depending on each shot. Because in one shot he's like bleeding from his ear. Then another shot, his face is all fine, everything is fine. Then they cut back and he's bleeding again. But this movie's so ridiculous. I was like, I don't even give a fuck. Usually in other movies I'll complain, but it is what it is.
There was other ridiculous shit to like pay attention to. I will say, like, I did really like because after that kind of right after Shona finds out he doesn't have the glow in his hands anymore. I think he, like, even with his like his not believing that he's like being beaten as it happens, like I thought he even played that up like as a super villain, like how could this be type shit, you know, like I just loved it. I loved his performance. It was fantastic.
And his red glow started like buzzing like a neon beer sign and shit. It's like trying to revamp it. And then for some reason Bruce Leroy had the golden glow, but every hit on Shown Up turned blue.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, and we're dealing with primary colors, but that should be orange.
Yeah, and the sound was like super loud too.
Oh, dude, that sounded like someone was beating on a snare in the middle of a warehouse.
Yeah. I felt like the effects of like some Street Fighter multiplier there, man. That's what it felt like.
Those Foley artists were working overtime
for this movie.
But then, he kicks Shown Up into the water, and then Eddie Arcadian comes with the only gun in the whole state of New York.
Yeah, in the 80s,
And, he shoots him, and he dies. But no, he catches bullets with his teeth.
Yeah, dude.
And then he gets up, spits the bullet out, doesn't hit Eddie. He brings him over to a chain and hoists him up. And dude, it took him a long time just to get him that brief little amount of space off the ground. But it took him a solid like 2.5 minutes of just pulling on this fucking chain. And then the cops show up and they're just like, well, there's a guy hanging by a chain. He's under arrest, I guess. He must have done something wrong.
I would say I was slightly disappointed with the way they revealed that he caught the bullets, because remember when he shot him, the movie goes silent because they want you to think he's dead. Then when Eddie starts walking towards him, they start playing the song kind of again. I was like, you just kind of ruined the fact that he's alive.
Right.
You know, at least wait till he flips over, you see the bullet, then play the song.
Yeah.
You know?
But it's way too late in the game to be bringing like drama.
Oh, yeah. I mean, fuck it. What are you about to say, Armando?
Yeah, no, because I mean, like in today's movies, it would have been like the sad fanfare all the way up until like the flip over. But yeah, like this was kind of like that, like tin, tin, tin,
Yeah.
like
You can hear the faint the glow.
Right. Yeah, if this had been made now, they would have had like Deadpool 2's dying scene. Just, it's so hard to die.
Oh, yeah. Well, speaking of the glow, I love the soundtrack for this movie, dude.
Oh,
The music,
yeah.
it was just fun. I just wanted to start breakdancing, you know?
Fuck yeah, man.
Yeah.
Can you?
I used to.
For real?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit. Not really good, but a little bit.
Well, if these can go mobile, you know, your fans.
Yeah, one of these days. I just dressed like a break dancer, not break-up dancer, but break dancer today for the honor of this episode.
I think the only footage we have of you dancing is how you want me to.
Love it. We have to get a better one than that.
Baby, you do it better.
I could do it better. But yeah, I love the song. Almost all the songs in this one, even the one that was supposed to be bad, I still liked it. I like the song they were playing at the end at the club after everything is over. It's like lift the glow, the God, the glow, you know, something like that. That shit was killing me, dude. Because 80s rap is so fucking stupid.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Yeah, the lift, the give, the God, the give.
I was feeling it.
Yeah, same, dude. I love that shit. Victoria was making fun of it. It's like, man, I could give a fuck less, dude. This is a bop. But you got anything to add on?
No, yeah, I mean, like that's just you know, the resolution at the end of it, and I had to realize like this was back before like end credits, like post credit scenes were a thing.
Yeah.
So I sat there for the whole shit waiting,
For real?
bro. Yeah. I
Oh my
did.
God, Armando, what's wrong with you, man?
I was like, something's got to be coming, right? Like, I watched like a whole like.
You watch too many Marvel movies. You don't even watch Marvel movies.
I fucking hate. Well, I don't hate Marvel movies. They're just like so formulaic. It's just like, okay, come on now. Like,
But why did you expect a stinger?
I don't know. I don't know, and I should have known. Like, they weren't doing that at that time.
Yeah, not
like
too
when they
much.
start playing that shit, like no one gives a fuck who worked on this movie. Like,
That's true.
I do though.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of y'all that worked on.
You can't even name
on
some
Last
people.
Dragon.
Oh yeah, you can't even name some of them, and you said you do. Just cut that part out.
I don't know who you are, but God bless you.
Yeah. But anything to add, Dave? Like, before I give our review, I guess.
They used to make a lot of movies like this, and now they don't. And I really think they should. The curse words aside, even though they marketed it towards kids, but it was R-rated, right? I'm pretty sure he dropped the F-bomb several times.
Did they?
I think so.
He said
okay.
he said motherfucker at least 3 times.
Oh damn! I didn't even
They
realize.
definitely dropped the N bomb a couple times.
Yeah.
N-word, please.
So, I just wish they would make more goofy movies like this without them being so meta and so winking at the camera. It's like they're in a bad movie, but they don't let the audience know that they know they're in a bad movie. Whereas, all these like Fear Street will, this isn't how they did it in Friday the 13th, and then they start waxing. They don't mention anything other than Bruce Lee movies.
Yeah.
And even then, that's like, it kind of adds to the story. Whereas modern movies, they just kind of reference something that's good, and it's like, hey, we're talking about something good, therefore what we're doing is good.
Yeah,
It's like, no, it's not.
It's cheap. It's like a cheap,
Yeah.
I guess, pop. Basically.
Yeah. But, a good, solid, good martial arts movie with a great soundtrack hasn't been done in a while.
Yeah.
And I really would like for them to bring them back.
Yeah. I think nowadays people, like you said, either it's too meta or people take themselves too seriously.
Yeah. Or it's like some sad shit like Warrior, where it's like, 2 brothers reuniting by fighting in the octagon. It's
With
like,
the alcoholic dad.
Yeah.
It's too much. It's too melodramatic.
yeah. Where's the fun? Where's the joy?
Yeah.
You get the credits of Last Dragon and you feel good.
Oh yeah, it's a fun movie. I'm ready to give my rating. I'll give it 8. Live the glory, got the glory out of 10s because 8 out of 10. One because it's a fun movie, dude. Like there's no way you could live this movie and just be mad or like, oh man, shit is trash. I mean, if you think it's bad, okay, but like you said, it's just a fun movie.
Yeah.
I like the soundtrack. The martial arts, even though it wasn't the best, it still adds. It's still decent enough for the movie.
Yeah.
What's his name? Tomek or something like that?
Tomek,
Yeah, he's really good as a martial artist. And like you were saying, Armando, I wouldn't have known that he wasn't really like new into acting. I would have just thought like that was his choice, with the way the character is written, and it fits. It just sucks because everybody else plays their character to like level 20 out of 10, and he kind of like falls by the wayside. And it's not his fault; it's just his character.
Yeah.
Then again, sure enough, that guy alone just warrants you seeing this movie. Every time he shows up on screen, he's good. Richie, everybody, just play their role really well. It's a fast paced movie. It doesn't really slow down. It just keeps going. When it comes to negatives, I can't even know if I could complain about the plot because it doesn't take itself seriously. Yeah, but I guess I don't even know what to complain about really. It's just.
There's nothing to complain about.
Yeah, there really isn't, but it's not a perfect movie. Like I can acknowledge that. I mean, no movie's perfect, but
It's perfect at what it was trying to be.
and I guess maybe the plotline, maybe some plot inconsistencies, or maybe some people might not find this as fun as maybe I did, but it is what it is, and it's unapologetically 80s, which is a positive to me. But I can see some young kids watching this shit and like, what the fuck is this? Because it's so 80s, but.
Those kids have no soul.
They got no glow. That's what it is.
You ain't got no glow. You ain't got no soul.
Soul glow. All right, you.
I was just thinking about like you get the got the glow.
Yeah.
Normally, I put some kind of picture that goes along with the rating. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna put there, bro.
Just, I guess, showing off glowing. I guess.
But yeah, overall, I'd say I'd give this one a solid 7.
Okay.
It's not
7 what?
7. 7 bullets caught in the teeth.
Yeah.
Out of 10, I guess. It's not my favorite, and like I said, there were some points where I was disengaged from the content. I do want to say though, like, it might have just had to do with, like, I had a lot going on this week, so like that might have had something to do with it. So I was gonna give it a 6. I'll give it the 7.
Okay.
Like you said, can't talk about show enough.
Yeah,
You
my
know what I
God.
mean?
Mr. Enough.
Mr. Enough. But yeah, he stole the show. He's easily my favorite character out of the entire cast. Can't really knock the technicals too much because as far as like lighting and color grading go, it was just doing everything that the movies of the time were doing. Like you can obviously tell that every setting was the studio lighting, but that's how every movie was in that time period. So I'm not gonna knock it for that. The direction that they were trying to go wasn't clear, but again, I think that was kind of the point, because the movie starts off kind of feeling very much like when you get deeper into like Karate Kid, like that kind of like we're training for martial arts type feel, and then it goes into like, okay, because he seems like a badass in the studio, and then we see him like go home and like everyone's like knocking on him, so it's like, oh, he's only a badass in his element. When he goes home, everybody like shits on this dude.
They were flaming this dude. His brother was flaming him throughout the whole movie.
So that direction was kind of like hard to follow, but again, like I let up on judging that too harshly because it seemed like that was kind of the point. Overall, yeah, like you guys said, unapologetically 80s. But that brought a lot of fun to the movie. And overall, like it was just goofy, and I enjoyed watching it. Would I watch it again? Probably at some point. I'd probably watch it with someone though. I watched this by myself.
Oh no, you gotta watch it with other people.
Yeah. I think this is definitely one to watch with other people. I think in a group setting, like it'd be a good time.
Could you watch it with the Savage? You think?
No, probably not with the Savage.
Okay.
There's too many innuendos. And it's just like,
yeah, you're right. With Richie, with the brother, is it Richie or Reggie? Reggie, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Which is awkward,
him being that young and like oh yeah, like I got the moves or whatever, stuff like that. I was like what?
Yeah.
I mean, like, I know people start young, but like how young are people starting? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
but yeah, I think that's all. Yeah, I think it deserves a solid 7.
Nice. Well, I definitely would give it 6 Johnnies locked inside of weapons closets.
Oh, okay.
But I would also like to add 2 rolls of pizza dough thrown at henchmen's faces.
Perfectly too, right?
Oh yeah, yeah, dude. The soundtrack, the martial arts is enough without too much. Julius Carey as Shonuff is just incredible.
Yeah.
I'll always remember him as that and as Bowler from Briscoe County Jr. But sadly, he also passed away much earlier than Vanity did from pancreatic cancer.
Oh man, R.I.P. dude.
Yeah. So it's a damn shame he didn't get more opportunities to play an over-the-top character like that. He was always relegated to stereotypical roles.
Oh man.
You know?
Okay.
But I'm glad that he got at least one chance to showcase what he could do, and he did not disappoint. Timac is the everyman. He's the Neo. He's the Luke Skywalker. So I accepted his latent homosexuality. You know, I'm not gonna fault him for that. I loved I loved the fact that all the characters were either wrestlers or wrestling managers or valets. It was the WWE and MTV together as one, with karate in the middle of it.
Yeah.
And I have nothing negative to say about it. You know, but I'm not going to give it. There's no such thing as a perfect movie.
Yeah. I guess 2 points about this. We talked about this too when you were in the Hudson Hawk episode. Apparently, this movie was we talked about this in the car too. It had mixed reviews,
Yes.
mixed reception, but almost everybody I talked to about this movie, they always had a good time with it.
Yeah.
So it just goes to like, I mean, even though you're watching our show, keep watching our show, but critics just have their own opinions. You know what I mean?
It doesn't have to be Schindler's List to entertain you.
Yeah, yeah.
Like you want to watch movies to get away from reality, and this is a perfect escape from reality.
So it makes me wonder, like, we talk about this with the page masters, like, what are these, at least at the time, what were these critics, like, what were they expecting going into these movies, you know?
I think they rate them all on the same scale, and I think we do a pretty good job on the show of rating it for what it set out to do. Because if you do that, like, if I was to rate this against The Godfather, like, there's no comparison. The Godfather set out to do something completely different from what this movie set out to do. So you've got to rate them based on your enjoyment of what the intention was.
Yeah.
I mean, you could even compare it to other martial arts movies, but like Enter the Dragon or Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. These were movies that had an underlying theme and rich philosophical points that they were trying to make. Bruce Leroy was just trying to fuck.
Yeah, he was trying to get it's like have the girl show him some moves. That's
Find
like
the glow, show the movie.
Yeah, find the glow. Then another thing I was going to say is, like, I'm surprised they didn't have a sequel, because I read that this did really well box office wise. Yeah.
Well, it was made for $10 million and made about 33 at the box office. Plus, who knows how much it made on home video, which made it a cult classic.
Yeah.
But with the fact that Motown folded like a year or two later, and all the other characters went on to other roles, and the critical reception, because people like us didn't review movies.
Yeah, yeah.
Siskel and Ebert and Gene Shalit and their pompous bullshit.
Yeah.
And people actually didn't make sequels because of critics sometimes.
Oh, really?
And
Back
I
then?
think this might have been one of those movies where it's like, all right, we made 3 times what we spent on it, but all these professionals shit on it, so it must not be good.
Oh man, that sucks.
Later on, people got more ballsy and they were like, we'll still make it. We'll release it straight to DVD.
Meanwhile, we're up to like, what, 9 Sharknadoes?
Oh yeah. That's true. But now, and you were saying, like, now today, even if it's trash, if it makes enough money, there's going to be a sequel.
Oh yeah.
I mean, look at the 50 Shades of Grey. They got shit on, and they keep making sequels.
There are 12 Puppet Master movies. If that tells you anything.
Oh my God, you're about to say something?
Oh no, yeah. Well, I was gonna say, well, with 50 Shades of Grey, they wanted to cover all the books, right?
Oh yeah, I guess all
there's
3.
3 books, yeah. So they wanted to cover all that. So that makes sense. But like Fast and the Furious, they're working on 10 right now. So it's like, did we really need 10?
Yeah, it's true. That is true. But I guess if there's nothing else to add to this episode, I would like to just say, like, R.I.P. What's his name? The guy who played
Julius Carey.
And
Vanity.
And Vanity. And yeah, if people are into goofy movies, go check this out. It's a fun movie. Try to watch it with other people. You'll have a good time. And yeah, this is just a fun movie and a fun time. And if you had a fun time, please like and subscribe. Leave comments. Tell us what you thought about this movie. Whether you've seen it. Who were some of your favorite characters? What were some of your favorite lines? Or some of your favorite songs? You're about to say something?
Oh no, I was just gonna say, let us know who the master is.
Oh yeah. And with that, would you have to
take it from the baddest mofos low down around this town.
Hey.
Show enough. See you on the next episode, guys.
See you.
That was a good one, man.